Anyone who knew my grandmother, Vincentina Solano, knew she was truly a warm, loving, caring, and quiet woman whose heart was bigger than she was. She was a devoted Catholic that used her strong faith to help her get through the struggles in her life, and always remember to thank God for the many blessings she had been given. My grandmother, Vincentina, lived a hard life growing up in Italy, having to help both work the farm and help raise her 9 younger brothers and sisters. As a young woman, my grandmother went to work as a housekeeper for a doctor in their village. One day, while fetching water at the local water well, she met and soon fell in love with my grandfather, Antonio Solano. In 1956, my grandmother, sponsored by her great Aunt Jenny and Uncle Dominic, to come to America for a better life. At the same time, my grandfather was forced to go to Brazil for work. My grandfather proposed before leaving Italy and they vowed to once again be together. After becoming an American citizen, my grandmother traveled to Brazil to marry my grandfather. In 1956, my grandparents were reunited once again here in America. And my grandmother gave birth to their first child, Conjunta, my mother. The following year, they welcomed another daughter, my Aunt Carmen, and then a son, my Uncle Joe, 3 years after that. After raising 3 children, my grandmother went on to help raise me as well. She always made sure everyone felt loved and was well fed in their presence. Even if you weren't hungry, she made sure you loved the full belly. She enjoyed the company of her family and never missed an episode of Ellen. Overall, my grandmother was a woman of few words, but always got her point across. My Nana and Papa both stressed the importance of having an education, because no one would ever take that away from you. She was very wise and quick-witted. She taught us to take care of each other and how important it was to love one another. Some of the things I remember most about my grandmother, my Nana, was how she would make me chamomile tea when my tummy hurt, how their home always smelled of roasted garlic, fresh tomato sauce, and roasted peppers. Her eggplant parm melted in your mouth, and when it was time for dinner, she yelled out the back window for Papa to come in from the garden. One of my favorite memories of my grandmother was one time a chipmunk somehow found its way into our house. Let me tell you, that woman chased that chipmunk around with a broom. Needless to say, that chipmunk did not stand a chance. My grandmother won that fight. In her later years, the Parkinson's took over and her life became more physically challenging. We, her children and grandchildren, took every measure possible to take care of her at home, as she did for us. It was important for us to keep her at home as comfortable as possible the last few years. In the past week, we were all together as a family in the hospital, sitting around sharing our favorite memories because we knew she could hear us. Uncle Joe and Aunt Janice remembered how their dog Jude, Nana used to call Dookie, liked to feed him animal crackers from her purse. My Uncle Mike loved seeing the way her face would light up when he called her Mamacita, and knew it would always bring her a good laugh. Carmen remembered how important her faith was to her. My husband, Steve, enjoyed hearing stories of the old country, and he could tell those memories brought her joy. My mom remembers her laugh, especially when Nana would try to tell a funny story, because she would never make it to the end because she was laughing so hard. These last couple days I realized how blessed I've been to have my Nana in my life for the last 30 years. She's been there for every special moment in my life. attending my wedding. She was 89. She was the matriarch of our family. She had seen so much among all of us. What brings me comfort now is knowing she's dancing with Papa. They're reunited once again, forever. Vinge and Dina will always be loved and greatly missed by all who knew and loved her. And I'd like to leave you all with this. Always love each other. Always have patience through the good and the bad. Never go to bed angry. Keep your mind open and your spirit free. Live life to the fullest and have no regrets. That is what you would have wanted for all of us.